I never imagined I'd be the kind of person who avoided taking a shower. When I was younger, I never thought twice about it. But now, it's different. Some days, I find myself making excuses, telling my daughter I'll do it later, or that I'm not really dirty. But the truth is, bathing became harder, not just physically, but emotionally too. It's not because I'm stubborn. It's not because I've given up. It's because sometimes I feel cold all the time, because I'm afraid of slipping in that bathroom, because I forget things more than I used to. And sometimes I just feel ashamed that I need help with something so personal. If you've ever felt the same way, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to share with you what I wish someone had told me. 5 gentle and heartfelt ways that helped me feel safe, comfortable, and in control again. These small changes made a big difference in my life, and I hope they bring you comfort too. Let's begin. 1. The hidden risks I didn't think about. When I started skipping showers, I didn't think it was such a big deal. A day here, a day there. It didn't seem like it would hurt anyone. I wasn't going anywhere. No one was visiting. And honestly, it just felt easier to avoid it. But what I didn't realize is that avoiding the bath had consequences. Real ones. After a while, my skin started to itch. It felt dry, tight, and irritated. I noticed a few red patches, then a sore that didn't heal as quickly as it used to. My daughter said something smelled off, and I could see the concern in her eyes, even if she didn't say much. Later, I found out that not bathing can lead to serious skin infections. As we age, our skin gets thinner and more fragile. Sweat, oils, and bacteria build up, and when they're not cleaned off, they can cause rashes, open sores, and infections that are slow to heal. In some cases, they can even lead to hospitalization. Then there are urinary tract infections, something I had never really worried about before, but they're especially common in older women, and poor hygiene increases the risk. What might start as a mild discomfort can quickly turn into something more serious: confusion, fever, and even something called sepsis. I know someone who ended up in the emergency room because of it, and it's not just the body that suffers, the heart and mind do too. When I stopped bathing regularly, I slowly pulled back from the world. I didn't want anyone to stop by. I made excuses to skip family gatherings. I avoided hugs, not because I didn't love my people, but because I was ashamed. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel clean. If you're going through this too, I understand. It's not just about hygiene. It's about dignity. It's about safety. It's about feeling like you still matter. And trust me, you do. In the next part, I'll talk about what was really going on beneath the surface, the reasons I didn't talk about, but that shaped everything. I hope you'll stay with me. 2. What I wasn't saying out loud. I wish I could have just explained it. I wish I had the words back then to tell my daughter or my son, or anyone really, why I kept saying no to bath time. But the truth is, I didn't fully understand it myself. I wasn't trying to be difficult. I wasn't being lazy. I was afraid. You see, I get cold easily now, much more than I ever used to. Even when the house feels warm to everyone else, my hands and feet are like ice. So stepping into a bathroom that feels chilly, taking off my clothes, and letting water hit my skin, it's not just uncomfortable. It feels unbearable, sometimes even painful. And then there's the fear of falling. I know how dangerous the bathroom can be. Wet floors, slippery tiles, reaching out for balance and not finding anything to hold on to. I've read stories, and I've seen friends go through it. One fall, and everything changes. That fear sits with me, quietly, every time I even think about taking a shower. There's also the forgetting. Some days I genuinely believe I bathed recently, even if it's been 5 or 6 days. My memory isn't what it used to be. And when someone gently tells me it's been too long, I feel confused, then embarrassed. And once that feeling of shame sets in, I just want to shut down. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to disappear into the quiet. And asking for help? That's the hardest part of all. Bathing used to be something I did alone. A private moment, part of my routine. The idea of needing someone to help me, to see me that vulnerable, made me feel less like myself. It made me feel like a burden. I didn't know how to say any of this, so instead I just said, "Not today," or "Maybe later." But really what I meant was, "I'm scared. I don't feel safe. I'm not ready." If you've ever felt that way, please know you're not the only one. In the next part, I'll share what helped me move past that fear. The simple, thoughtful things my daughter did that made the bathroom feel less like a threat and more like a place I could breathe again. 3. Creating a warm, safe sanctuary helped me relax. Everything started to change the day my daughter did something small, but powerful. Before she even brought me to the bathroom, she warmed it up. She turned on a little space heater and let the steam from the shower build up in the room. When I walked in, it didn't feel cold or harsh like it usually did. It felt warm, soft, almost peaceful. She had even put my towel and robe in the dryer ahead of time. I didn't expect that. When I stepped out of the bath and wrapped myself in that warm towel, I actually smiled. It felt like a hug. Then she did something else. She played my music, not just anything. It was Frank Sinatra. "Fly Me to the Moon." I hadn't heard it in years, and something about hearing that song in that warm room made everything feel a little more familiar, more like me. She didn't rush me. She didn't push. She just made the space feel safe and let me take my time. It was the first time in a long while that I didn't dread getting clean. I wasn't cold. I wasn't tense. I wasn't embarrassed. I felt comforted. These little touches, a warm room, a soft towel, a favorite song, they may seem small, but to someone who's been resisting for weeks, they can mean everything. And that was just the beginning. Next, I'll tell you what we did on the days when even stepping into the tub still felt like too much. There's a gentler way to stay clean, and it worked wonders for me. 4. When a full bath felt too much, a sponge bath was just right. There were still days when I just couldn't do it. Even with the warm bathroom and the soft music, my energy was low. My legs felt weak. Just the thought of stepping over the edge of the tub felt overwhelming. And on those days, my daughter didn't insist or try to argue. Instead, she offered something simple, a sponge bath. At first, I hesitated. It sounded like something they did in hospitals. I was afraid it would make me feel even less independent. But she said, "Let's just try it. You'll still feel clean, and you won't have to do anything that feels unsafe." She brought in warm washcloths, not cold or dripping, but soft and steamy. She used no rinse soap, nothing harsh, just something gentle with a light scent. And most importantly, she let me start. I washed my own face and hands. That small act, starting on my own, made all the difference. It gave me a sense of control. I wasn't being cleaned. I was still caring for myself in my own way. She helped me with the harder spots, underarms, feet, places that needed a bit more support. She was calm, kind, and always asked before doing anything. There was no rush, no judgment, just care. Afterward, I felt refreshed, clean, presentable, and not nearly as exhausted as I would have after a full shower. We used dry shampoo for my hair and fresh clothes right after. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. In fact, I started asking for sponge baths on the days I was too tired or sore. It was no longer something I dreaded. It became a gentler, more manageable option. If full bathing feels like too much for you, please know there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in finding what works best for your body right now. And what worked for me was meeting myself where I was, not where I used to be. Next, I'll talk about something that surprised me. How bathing less often actually made the whole process easier, not dirtier, just calmer, and much more doable. 5. Bathing less often made it easier to say yes. There was a time when I believed I had to shower every single day. That's how I was raised. Cleanliness was part of dignity. You wake up, you wash, you get dressed. That's just how it was. But things change. Now, my body doesn't move the way it used to. My skin is thinner, drier. A full shower leaves me feeling tired, cold, and sometimes even sore. And honestly, trying to keep up with that daily routine was just making me feel worse, physically and emotionally. Then one day, my daughter said something that completely changed how I thought about it. She said, "Mom, what if we just did this 2 or 3 times a week? On the other days we can do a quick wipe down, fresh clothes, and that's it." At first I hesitated. It felt like cheating, like I was giving up, but I gave it a try. On the days we didn't do a full bath, she brought me body wipes, warm, soft, and gentle on my skin. We focused on the key areas: underarms, feet, and the groin. We used dry shampoo to freshen my hair, and she always made sure I had clean undergarments and fresh clothes. The difference it made was enormous. I stopped dreading the bathroom. I didn't feel pushed or pressured. My skin felt better, less itchy, less irritated. And because I wasn't being asked to do it every single day, I was actually more willing when it was bath time. It felt manageable, reasonable, kind. I realized then that dignity isn't about doing what you used to do. It's about doing what works for you now and feeling good about it. So if you're struggling to keep up with the old routine, give yourself permission to change it. 2 or 3 baths a week, plus a few gentle wipe downs in between, can be more than enough to feel clean and stay healthy. Less can truly be more. Next, I'll share what helped me most with the fear I didn't always talk about, the fear of falling, and how a few simple changes in the bathroom helped me feel safe again. 6. Safety features gave me my confidence back. For a long time, I didn't even want to admit it, but I was scared to step into the shower, not because I didn't want to be clean, but because every part of that space felt like a risk. The tiles were slippery, the tub was too high to step over easily, and even with someone nearby, I worried, what if I fell? What if I lost my balance when no one was looking? That kind of fear doesn't go away on its own. It stays with you, and it slowly builds a wall between you and the things you used to do without thinking. But then we made a few simple changes. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, just thoughtful. First, we installed grab bars, real ones, not the kind with suction cups. One near the toilet, another by the tub, and one on the wall inside the shower. I can hold on when I move. I feel steady. Then, we put in a non-slip mat, inside the tub and outside. No more slick, dangerous surfaces. Just stable footing. The biggest help of all, a shower chair. Now, I don't have to stand the whole time. I can sit down, take my time, and not feel rushed. I can reach my legs, wash my feet, and not worry about toppling over. It brought peace back into something that used to cause so much stress. And we added a handheld shower head, too. That one small change gave me control again. I can guide the water where I want it to go. It's not splashing in my face or running too hot or cold. I'm not turning and twisting. I'm not straining. Together, these changes gave me something I hadn't felt in a long time. Confidence. I started walking into the bathroom without hesitation. I didn't tense up. I didn't resist. I felt safe. And when you feel safe, everything changes. Next, I want to tell you how we took things one step further and turned bath time into something peaceful, even enjoyable. Not just a task, but a small, comforting ritual I actually looked forward to. 7. Turning bath time into a ritual made it peaceful. There was a time when bath time felt like something I had to survive, something I braced myself for. I'd worry about being cold, about slipping, about someone seeing me in a vulnerable state. Even on the good days, it still felt like a task, something to get through, not something to enjoy. But that changed once we began treating it like a ritual, not a chore. It started with something small, a cup of warm tea before the bath. Just sitting for a few quiet minutes, holding that cup, feeling the warmth in my hands. It calmed me. It brought my body temperature up, which made the transition into the warm water much easier. That tea became part of the rhythm, a gentle start to a slower, more thoughtful experience. Then came the scents. My daughter used a lavender-scented soap. Nothing overpowering, just something light and familiar. One day, she found a lotion that smelled just like the one I used to wear years ago, vanilla and chamomile. It brought me right back to Sunday mornings getting ready for church. That memory made me feel like me again. She didn't rush. She didn't treat it like a task to check off. And afterward, she always said something kind. "You smell wonderful. You look beautiful today. Your skin feels so soft. Doesn't that feel good?" It might sound small, but after a bath, when you're warm, clean, and feeling a bit exposed, hearing those words means the world. It reminded me that I wasn't just being cared for. I was still a person with dignity, beauty, and worth. And over time, I stopped resisting. I even started looking forward to it, because it wasn't just about getting clean anymore. It became a way to feel safe, calm, and connected to myself again. Up next, I'll bring it all together, what these changes truly meant for me and my family, and why they made such a lasting difference in my life. 8. It all comes down to dignity and kindness. Looking back, I realize it was never really about the bath itself. It was about how I felt walking into that bathroom and how I felt walking out. Before we made these changes, I used to feel anxious, exposed, and rushed. I felt like I was being handled, not helped. But once we slowed down and focused on comfort, everything shifted. The warmth, the music, the familiar scents, the safety features, the sponge baths on hard days, the kind words afterward. All of it added up to something powerful. I started to feel like myself again. More than that, I felt respected. My daughter stopped trying to force me into her routine and instead started meeting me in mine. She saw me not just as someone who needed help, but as a person with preferences, memories, fears, and pride. She gave me back something I didn't even realize I had lost: dignity. And because of that, we stopped having arguments. We stopped dancing around the topic. Bathing became easier, smoother, and more peaceful for both of us. So if you're going through something similar, whether you're the one struggling to bathe or the one trying to help, I hope you know this. It's not just about staying clean. It's about feeling safe. It's about being seen. And it's about being cared for in a way that still lets you feel human. That's what made the difference for me. And it can make the difference for you too. Now let me leave you with the 5 things that helped me most. Simple changes that truly changed my life. Here are the 5 things that helped me most. 5 changes that turned bathing from something I feared into something I could handle with peace and dignity. First, warm the space and make it feel safe. A cozy room, a soft towel, and a little music can turn a cold, stressful environment into a calm, welcoming one. Second, use sponge baths when a full bath feels like too much. Gentle, respectful, and easier on the body. They helped me stay clean without the exhaustion. Third, bathe less often and stay fresh in between. 2 or 3 times a week was enough for me. On the other days, clean clothes, body wipes, and dry shampoo made a big difference. Fourth, add safety features. Grab bars, non-slip mats, a shower chair, and a handheld shower head gave me the confidence to feel secure again. Fifth, turn bath time into a ritual. A warm drink before, familiar scents, kind words after. These small things made me feel like a person, not just a task to manage. If you're struggling with bathing, in your own life or while caring for someone you love, please remember this. You're not alone. You're not failing. You're just human. And there is always a gentler way. If even one of these ideas sounds helpful, try it. Just one. You might be surprised by how much lighter everything feels, and if it helps, I hope you'll share it. Someone else out there might need to hear that they're not the only one going through this. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm truly grateful.